Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Polygon's price chart, and what we expected pretty much played out beautifully. Why? If you remember, the last time that we talked about Polygon, we were right around this area, and the idea was that we are actually on the verge of getting a big break of this very important bearish pattern, which was what? Yup, you guessed it right. Beautiful head and shoulder structure. Now, I said if this pattern is going to get confirmed, odds are our move down is actually going to continue for another 10 to 15%. Why? Because question, what is going to be the target for this pattern? You need to measure the height of it from this point to about here and put it at your breaking point. And this was giving you about like an 18 to 19 cents polygon, which in my view was quite realistic. However, we did go down for another 10%, absolutely fair enough, but we didn't completely get there. Now, here's the situation. It's not actually a guarantee for us to absolutely pinpoint the target. No, I think this move down can absolutely be enough, but it's not for me enough to say that we have hit our final low right in here with a lot of confidence. I certainly do see some optimistic signs in here, which I'm going to talk to you about in today's update, but I need some more price action in order to have a good idea of what is going on in here. So, first things first, why do I say this can actually be the low of our correction in Polygon? Because I'm thinking in terms of Elliott's waves, we are most likely having an ABC zigzag, which the subwaves for it are going to be like this: 5 down into A, correction for wave B. Let's say in this scenario, an ABC doesn't really matter a whole lot, and then another 5 down into C. If I just go on the live chart, okay, so this is a 5 wave down, no problem at all. And let's go right away on some lower time frames. Excuse me, there we go. Followed by, this is a very slow and choppy move up. So, let's say it is maybe like a WXY or maybe an ABC, not really important. And then what's happening in here, I'm thinking this can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into a wave 1, correction for 2, decent move down to about this point into wave 3. And we may have in this phase like an A, B, C, D, E, a triangle to about here into wave 4, another move down into wave 5, and on a higher degree. Well, if you want to go with this count, this suggests that we have completed the subwaves for what? An A, B, C zigzag, and this point is actually the low of our correction, and from here we can expect like a very strong move on the upside. Now, why did I say this isn't necessarily enough for me? Because if you want to say that we have hit our final low around here, okay, you need to be able to find then off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This specific example is called an impulse. Rules for it are: we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4 and in any kind of 5 wave. Wave 3 is simply not allowed to be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, you probably know it in case that you are a regular viewer. 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different counts. Let's say, okay, WXY into 4 and then ABC into wave 2. And do we have something like this from the lowest low or not? The answer is not yet, but it seems like that we are actually on our way to complete a 5 wave. Why do I say that? Let's go on 5-minute time frame so you can see the candles a bit better. I can tell you that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, followed by a correction structure down, maybe like an ABC to about this point, and this can be yet another 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. And on a higher degree, I am really hoping that we're gonna have wave 1, 2, big move into wave 3, and if I see a consolidation pattern in here into wave 4 and then another move up into wave 5, it will be, from my POV, a very optimistic sign suggesting we have hit our final low, the low of our correction in Polygon. Now, especially in this process, if we manage to get back above the higher band of this region around, let's say 22.5 cents, and also especially if we take this important high about 24.5 cents. Now that will be like an extremely bullish sign, further confirming that this was indeed an ABC zigzag, and exciting times for Polygon are indeed going to be ahead of us. So what you want to see in Polygon is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, followed by a consolidation pattern, a very slow and choppy move down, and then another move up. And in that move, you want to see Matic taking this important high about 24.5 cents. And if we do so, you know what, at that point I am going to flip bullish and call for some more strong upward price action starting from the current point. Like, do not get me wrong, one way or the other, even if we get a move down from here, I am going to remain optimistic in Polygon as long as I'm not proven otherwise, and I'm going to stick with my primary count, suggesting this is 5 wave up into wave 1. This is a correction for wave 2. And what's next if the scenario is happening? You know what? A very, very strong move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Polygon. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.